What's good, YouTube? It's Zach, and today we got NFL Week 3 reactions. Hope everyone's having an amazing day so far. We had an insane Week 3 where it came down to a lot of missed kicks, blocked kicks, and game-winning kicks. So let's take a look at all the games that have happened so far. Starting things off on Thursday, we had the Buffalo Bills destroy the Miami Dolphins. It actually was a lot closer than what the final score says. I'm just giving the Dolphins fans some crap. It was 21-21. The Bills were getting ready to punt the ball away to the Dolphins, and then of course, they ran into the kicker because they are the Dolphins. Then the Bills pretty much just took control of that game and never looked back. Josh Allen with the most mid 213 yards and 3 scores. James Cook went 19 for 108 in a score. James Cook still looking like one of the best running backs in the NFL so far. Tua was looking good until he had a very ugly interception. I believe it was in the fourth quarter. Devin Achane wasn't able to get it going, and Ali Gordon robbed the only rushing touchdown of the day. The Bills are looking like the best team in the NFL still up to this point, and Mike McDaniel's seat just continues to get hotter. Up next, we had my Minnesota Vikings absolutely demolishing the undefeated Cincinnati Bengals. It was being led by Jake Browning, and they only ran 3 people on the offensive line. This game could be summarized basically in one sentence. Jordan Mason is really good at running the football, and Isaiah Rodgers might be the best defender in the NFL. He had 2 defensive touchdowns in this game. Jake Browning, obviously, he struggled with 19 to 27 for a $140, 1 score, and 2 interceptions. Samaje Perine led the way with 21 rushing yards, and Jamar Chase until the fourth quarter basically did nothing. He did have 5 receptions for 50 yards, but he did have a costly fumble. And for fantasy football purposes, not so much for this game. As you can see, the Bengals didn't even get a touchdown until the fourth quarter. I'm still indifferent on the Vikings. I mean, that showing last week against the Falcons is really questionable, especially when we talk to the Falcons when we get there in a little bit. And the Vikings got the win, and it was a very dominating win, and I'm never going to be mad about my team winning. Up next, we have a treat here. The Cleveland Browns ended up coming back and winning the game. As you can see from the box score, the Browns didn't even score until the fourth quarter. That's where they got all of their points. There was a very controversial Josh Jacobs non-fumble when the ball looked like it was clearly out. Anyways, the ball didn't lie as the Packers kick was shortly blocked thereafter. Joe Flacco was able to make a couple passes and give the Browns kicker, I think it was a 55-yard attempt. Yep, here it was down here in the report. And yeah, Packers fans, you guys are gonna have to hold a big L here. I mean, they're still one of the better teams in the NFL. I'm probably still gonna have them relatively high in my power rankings, but the Cleveland Browns defense, even though the Browns are only gonna win 4 games this year, they might have the best defense in the NFL. So yeah, Browns, thank you for doing God's work. Up next, we have Indiana Jones continuing to dominate the NFL landscape as they destroy the Tennessee Titans of a score of 41-20. And it wasn't even Indiana Jones. As you can see, Jonathan Taylor, 17 carries, 102 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns. So if you had Taylor in fantasy, you guys probably won. And if you guys lost in fantasy, I am so sorry, because I don't know if he's going to have another 3-touchdown game this season, but who knows. Whenever Daniel Jones has time to throw, that offensive line is looking pretty good so far this season. And I read a stat that the Colts have only punted 1 time in their first 3 games. That's the least amount of punts, I believe, since 1940. It's on Adam Schefter's X account if you want to look up the exact stat. I believe that's the number. Cam Ward looks solid against a lot worse of a defense than he played the first 2 weeks. And Titans, I mean, as long as Cam Ward still looks solid, which he is so far, this will be a successful season. But the Colts are going to the Super Bowl. Up next, we have the battle of the fumbling, mainly on the Patriots side. We had the Pittsburgh Steelers getting the win 21-14, and the Patriots had every single chance to win this football game, and they couldn't get it done. I believe they had 4 fumbles throughout the course of this game, 2 from Ramondre Stevenson, 1 from May, along with the interception, and then Antonio Gibson also had a fumble. And the Patriots only lost by 1 score. I still do believe what I said during the NFL Red Zone stream, where the winner of this game was going to get the final seed in the AFC playoffs. So Steelers might be getting that 7 seed once again. The Patriots might just miss. Aaron Rodgers looked good in the first half. He had both of his scores in the first half. He threw a very bad interception of his own. Jalen Warren cannot get the run game going. Drake May being your leading rusher, that's pretty diabolical. But if you had Hunter Henry in fantasy, my goodness, 8 catches for 90 yards and 2 scores. The Steelers, they're 2-0 on the road so far. That means they're going to have some more home games coming up. And who knows, maybe they can keep pace with the Ravens. Up next, we had a game that came down to a game-winning field goal, which was blocked and then returned by Jordan Davis, as you can see on this highlight play right here. And just a story of two halves. I mean, the Rams were up 26-7 at the end of the first half. Then Jalen Hurts remembered that he can, in fact, throw the football to A.J. Brown, which is usually a good thing. Hurts 21-32 for 226 and 3 scores. Saquon Barkley held in check once again, only 18 carries for 46 yards, but again, A.J. Brown put down his book, had 6 catches for 109 yards and 1 score. I believe all of that was in the second half. The Rams did pretty much as good as they could trying to close out the game, except Stafford had a really bad interception. Kyren Williams went 20 carries for 94 yards and a receiving touchdown. Thank you for that. And then Puka Nacua, 11 catches for 112 yards. But as you can see, I mean, Stafford just could not get the ball to anyone other than Puka Nacua. I mean, 11 of his 19 completions went to him. But this is going to be a really good playoff game if this does happen. And Eagles, they remain undefeated for now. We have a very surprising turn of events as the Buccaneers was able to squeak out the New York jersey. Up next, we have a very interesting game where the Buccaneers were able to escape the New Jersey Jets' a lethal fourth quarter as they put up 21 points in said fourth quarter. Tyrod Taylor, 26-36 for 2 scores and a pick. He was also their leading rusher. I was lucky enough to bench Breece Hall for Jordan Mason this week in fantasy. I might be trying to deal Breece Hall in the near future, but that is not the main cause of concern in this game. I mean, Emeka Egbuka is most likely going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year as long as Cam Ward doesn't have a subpar rookie season. That's just because it's a quarterback award, but Emeka Egbuka from Ohio State looking like one of the best rookie wide receivers in recent memory. Bucky Irving got 25 carries in this game for 66 yards. That's pretty diabolical. And Baker Mayfield is doing his best game managing impression out there. But it came down to, I believe, the game-winning field goal. I can't remember if this one was blocked or what exactly happened here. I mean, the Buccaneers had a game-winning kick as time expired. Okay, so yeah, the Jets blocked a Buccaneers kick and returned for a touchdown. Right. And then Buccaneers, all 3 games so far, they've been trailing in the 2-minute warning of the fourth quarter. They won all 3 of their games. Buccaneers pretty much have the NFC South locked up as, again, we'll talk to the Falcons in a little bit. But Baker Mayfield, way to go. Next, we have a game that I could not see coming. We had the Washington Commanders destroy the Las Vegas Raiders. I just thought Marcus Mariota was a really bad quarterback. Made me look stupid. As you can see, he went 15-21 for 207 and a score. I also believe he had one on the ground. I did say I was going to give up my house if their leading rusher wasn't over 17 yards. I wasn't expecting Jeremy McNichols to have that really big run that went for a score. I'd say he had 4 carries for 78 yards. They held JT in check, went 17 for 63. And, I mean, Geno Smith didn't turn the ball over, but instead of turning over the ball, he decided to get sacked 5 times. Commanders are still looking really solid. Hopefully, Jaden Daniels can come back soon, but it looks like Marcus Mariota is able to hold down the starting job for now. And, yeah, Commanders got the win. Oh, my goodness. Up next, we have the Carolina Panthers absolutely destroying the Atlanta Falcons. Michael Penix out there only completing 50% of his passes through 2 interceptions. Bijan Robinson held in check, went 13 for 72. I noticed my face cam's a little bit in the way here, but I mean, the Panthers really didn't do too much. I mean, Bryce Young went 16-24 for $121, and they won 30-0. That's pretty astronomical. Chuba Hubbard really didn't get anything going. Rico Dowdle and Bryce Young added in some touchdowns on the ground. As you can see, no receiving touchdowns. The Panthers even had a fumble or 2, but this is where the domination took place on the defensive side of the ball. We run upstairs because Atlanta, I think you guys deserve this. Here, take it. Atlanta fans, just take all this right here. Okay, you guys got the L. Perfect. Can't spell Atlanta or the Falcons without an L, to be honest. But no, the Panthers, they got their first win of the season in dominant fashion. I did say if the Panthers win this game, maybe they can get a run at the NFC South, but the Buccaneers are not slowing down anytime soon. Falcons, this is a tough game. We even saw a Kirk Cousins sighting who ended up going 5 of 7 for 29 yards. But Falcons, try to shake this off. I don't know who you guys play next week, but Panthers, way to get a dominant win. Up next, we have the Houston Texans falling to 0-3 against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I mean, they had every chance in the world to win this game, and they couldn't get it done. A very costly Nico Collins fumble, and C.J. Stroud having 2 picks, and DeMeco Ryans might be on the hot seat in this game. The reason I chose the Texans in my Pick'em league is because if they start out 0-3, they get to keep up with the Colts, who are currently undefeated at 3-0, and the Texans are in a very, very bad situation right now. I think it is panic time. I don't know who the Texans play next week. Hopefully they play like the Saints or something. That might be the only team I can predict the Texans to beat, and who knows, they still might not be able to get the job done. All right, enough of Houston's collapses. The Jaguars did just enough to get over the hump. Trevor Lawrence only completed 50% of his passes. He obviously had his weekly interception. Travis Etienne and Tootin had the only 2 scores on the ground for the Jags. And again, yeah, it just comes down. Nico Collins had a great game, except that costly fumble. But the Jags were able to spread the ball around at least a decent amount. And yeah, Jaguars, they're right behind the Colts in the AFC South as everyone anticipated. Up next, we have another game I got incorrectly because, of course, we had the Denver Broncos losing to the Los Angeles Chargers. And to be in my defense, the Broncos had every chance to win this game. It's because of this goofball overthrowing wide receivers in the end zone. The Broncos could have put up 30 points in this game had Bo Nix been a little bit more accurate. But again, I can blame the Broncos in all facets, but no, Justin Herbert just had an amazing game. He got sacked 5 times in this game, but he made some incredible plays. He did only go 28 of 47 for 300 yards, but Amari and Hampton, after a very, very slow first half, was able to get it going in that second half. Najee Harris, unfortunately, tore his ACL in this game, which is very costly for Chargers fans. Hopefully he's able to recover and get back into NFL form next season. And the Chargers, they start out 3-0. They defeated everyone in their division. They beat the Chiefs week 1, they beat the Raiders last week, and they beat the Broncos. So not only are they 3-0, they're 3-0 in their division, which actually might lock them up to win the AFC West. And the Chiefs, I can't wait till we get there. But, I mean, they hold a 2-game advantage over the Broncos and the Chiefs. And the Raiders, I think, are 1-2 as well. And, yeah, Chargers, they're looking really good. They're a complete football team. They can run, they can pass, and they can defend. Their special teams is still a little bit questionable, but Chargers, way to move 3-0. I forgot this was even a game. We had the New Orleans Saints take on the Seattle Seahawks here, 44-13. I mean, like, what is there to say? I mean, the Saints are the worst team in the NFL, and it's not even close. Alvin Kamara held in check, 18 carries for 42 yards. Chris Olave, if you have him in full-point PPR, had himself about as good of a game as he can. He had 10 catches for 57 yards. Jackson Smith and Jigba continuing to destroy secondaries across the United States of America. 5 catches for 96 yards. Sam Darnold, I mean, Carson Wentz looked pretty good on the Vikings yesterday, but I mean, I'm so happy to see Sam Darnold succeed. I thought for sure he would be getting destroyed behind that offensive line. Yeah, look at that. Sam Darnold, 0 sacks on the day. Kenneth Walker, I mean, average to only 2.4 yards per carry. He was able to get 2 scores in this game with 16 for 38. George Halandu, I'm assuming a backup running back for the Seahawks. You can see that no one really had a lot of success in the run game just because, again, that Seattle offensive line is very questionable. Cooper Kupp even had 2 catches for 31 yards down here. But Seattle, they took care of the really bad team, and they might be featured in Power Rank. And, yeah, Seattle got the win. Up next, we had America's team get absolutely demolished by the Chicago Bears. We had the Bears. Caleb Williams, 19-28 for 298 and 4 touchdowns. Most of them were pretty wide open. I know the Rome Odunze and DJ Moore scores were pretty open in their own right. Yeah, DJ Moore ended up only having 4 catches for 21 yards and that score. Dallas, I know CeeDee Lamb went down. Was it the first drive? I don't even think. Yeah, he wasn't even targeted in the game. CeeDee Lamb got an ankle sprain. We saw a little bit of Joe Milton out there who threw a costly interception. I mean, is it really costly if there's only 0 points scored in the whole fourth quarter, 7 in the whole second half rather? And the Bears able to get their first win. Ben Johnson got his first win as a head coach. And the Cowboys, if there's no CeeDee Lamb, it might be time just to turn off the television sets. And we can just lock it in right now. Cowboys are not going to be able to make it to the NFC Championship game in the last 30 years. It's a 30-year anniversary this season. Cowboys, I'm just so sorry. Up next, we had the San Francisco 49ers just squeaking a game between their cheeks against the Arizona Cardinals. I chose the Cardinals to win this game. They ended up getting a safety in the fourth quarter and taking what was a 15-13 point lead. And Kyler Murray, this game's not entirely on him just because we'll get to it in the receiving area in a minute, but 22-35 for a score. He only got sacked 1 time. He added 37 yards on the ground. James Conner, he's done for the season. I believe he tore his ACL as well. It's just a tough scene all around. But this guy, my wide receiver 1 in my fantasy football league, Marvin Harrison Jr. had just one of the worst drops in NFL history. If you haven't seen it, it's everywhere on YouTube, X, TikTok probably. And yeah, Marvin Harrison Jr. is not looking promising as I thought he would at the start of his second season here. Trey McBride ended up getting a receiving touchdown. I played against him in fantasy, which sucked. Another person I played against in fantasy on the San Fran side, Christian McCaffrey went 17 for 52 yards, but I play in half-point PPR. So this 10 receptions for 88 yards killed me. The Cardinals should be 3-0, and it came down to a game-winning field goal. I think Eddie Pinheiro is the kicker on San Fran. Shout out to him. Yep, he's 3 for 3 in this game. Chad Ryland obviously missed his kick. And the Niners, they moved to 3-0. We might have to put them in the power rankings. And Mac Jones. Is there a quarterback controversy in San Fran? Probably not. There's still no George Kittle. Niners are missing a lot of people, but they're still undefeated. Way to get the win. And the final game that I'm talking about, because I record these on Monday, so we haven't seen the Ravens and Lions game yet, but feel free to hang around until Wednesday when we do week 4 predictions with my guy Cringy. I'll make sure to talk about the Monday Night Football game. Anyways, we had the Chiefs beat the Giants 22-9. I said multiple times during that video that the Chiefs could not start 0-3. They lost to the Giants. It would have been time to panic, but thankfully, Russell Wilson is their quarterback and just started throwing interceptions to the Kansas City Chiefs defenders. Chiefs still cannot run the ball whatsoever. Patrick Mahomes had 5 carries for 2 yards. That's crazy. But Pacheco, 10 carries for 45 yards. I've seen a lot of people call for Travis Kelce's name. He looks pretty washed. That's why I had made the mistake last year drafting him in fantasy, and he's still coming out to that slow start. Giants, they have something in Cam Scatterbo here. He went 10 carries for 60 yards and a score, and then 6 receptions for 61 yards. So that might be the only person worth having on the Giants in fantasy. And Chiefs, they get the win. They're 1-2, probably still not in the power rankings, but hey, you guys got the win. And that's all I have for you today. If you guys enjoyed my week 3 reactions, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. We're on the road to 8,000 subscribers. I believe we're like less than 20 subs away from that. Hopefully we can hit that by the end of the week. And other than that, it's been Zach. I'll see you all tomorrow for NFL Power Rankings. Peace.